We started the company 5-6 years ago and have been growing quite significantly since, but really only in the past 2 years as sort of the carbon market and a focus on carbon removals has taken off. We will be planting 4.2 million trees over our coming planting season, which is this fall and winter. That's putting about 1 million tons of carbon removal into the ground. So great, but still a drop in the bucket compared to what needs to happen. And I think one of our points about Landlife is that there need to be thousands of Landlifes and other companies getting involved in high quality reforestation projects. The carbon market is not perfect for nature restoration and climate resiliency because it only recognizes one value of the tree, which is its carbon sequestration capabilities, not the fact that it's increasing groundwater infiltration, providing habitat, fostering biodiversity, cleaning air, cleaning water, the cooling effect of trees. We're only focused on one aspect of the tree, which means we're not recognizing the full value, but it also means that we might misguide, again, our planting designs to optimize for that one value that the tree provides instead of looking at holistically the ecosystem outcome we're trying to achieve.
Soils are the single most important carbon sink on Earth, aside from oceans, which I didn't count on sort of terrestrial sink. So we have more than double probably the amount of carbon stored in soils than in biomass and the entire atmosphere combined. And the calculations tell us that if we could increase the soil organic carbon content by 4 per mil, that is 0.4% annually, we could offset all our carbon emissions through different means of agricultural production that we have to adapt. We can capture carbon and improve our ecosystems. So there's not one definition of regenerative agriculture yet, but there is a set of principles that are generally agreed upon. That is minimizing soil disturbance and adding synthetics. That is maximizing biodiversity, keeping permanent ground cover, keeping living roots in the soil, and integrating animals. None of these is dogmatic. So it is not like you can absolutely never use synthetics. It's not like you absolutely have to keep permanent ground cover, but using these principles together contribute to building a healthy ecosystem and capturing carbon in the ground.
One seagrass meadow Professor Duarte surveyed, 40% of the carbon in sediment actually came from macroalgae. The voluntary carbon market is not perfect. It's a series of bilateral transactions. It's therefore not transparent. It's very confusing to most people. And a lot of the work that I do is try to help folks understand how it can be used as a tool to bring real change in the absence of what would, of course, make more sense, which would be a single regulated global market. But it doesn't appear that that's coming anytime soon. There are trends for folks to say that carbon storage in nature is not safe and therefore should only be done with geologic storage. Right? The folks, when you then say, all right, what's the role of nature? Well, you figure out your big machines to suck carbon out of the air that I 100% agree we need. And I actually work in renewable energy and infrastructure, so I'm not anti-tech at all. But there clearly has to be a role for nature. Typically what I hear back is, well, we need to come up with other markets for the ecosystem services provided by nature, to which my response is, it took us 30 years to get people to pay for carbon. If we wait 30 years for them to pay for biodiversity, we just won't have any left. This is what we got, and we need to work with it.